Hello everyone, welcome back to BioVidyalaya. I hope you all are doing very well. Today I am coming with two part C graphical questions from CSIR UGC NET, that is from cell biology. Can we discuss that? Then let's begin. This is a question from CSIR NET June 2016. Question is, a virus infects a particular cell type, integrates its genome into a site that contains a proto-oncogene, transforms the cell and increases the level of a protein X, which increases the cellular proliferation. A compound P is known to increase the level of tumor suppressor protein in that cell type, whereas a compound Q helps in stimulating a protein Z that can bind to X, rendering it inactive. Which one of the following graphs correctly represent the mode of action of P and Q? So we have to select the correct graph from these four graphs. Okay, here you can see that in y-axis percentage of cellular proliferation and P and Q is there. Minus means absent, plus means present. Okay, a virus infects a particular cell type, integrates its genome into a site that contains a proto-oncogene, transforms the cell and increase the level of a protein X, which increases the cellular proliferation. We know that proto-oncogene means that is the normal gene. When that is altered by any mutation, that proto-oncogene will become an oncogene. Oncogene means that abnormal proto-oncogene. So this abnormal proto-oncogene that will leads to cancer. This oncogene that will cause that cell to divide in unregulated manner. This is the gain of function mutation. The proto-oncogene will become an oncogene because of gain of function mutation. So here a virus infects a particular cell type, integrates its genome into a site that contains a proto-oncogene. Because of the integration of genome of virus, this proto-oncogene will become an oncogene and that will increase the level of protein X. Normally, this proto-oncogene is producing this protein X in regulated manner. After the integration of genome of this virus, this proto-oncogene will produce this protein X in high level. So, that's why because the increased level of protein X, cell proliferation also will increase. Okay. A compound P is known to increase the level of tumor suppressor protein in that cell type. So, a compound P that will increase the tumor suppressor protein. We know that function of tumor suppressor protein is to suppress tumor. That will decrease cell proliferation. So, this compound P will decrease cell proliferation. Okay. Whereas a compound Q help in stimulating a protein Z that can bind to X, rendering it inactive. That means here a compound X that will stimulate a protein Z. This Z protein that will bind with X, because of this binding, X will become inactive. That means the protein Z will inhibit protein X. So that's why this protein X will become inactive. Because of the inactivation of protein X, cell proliferation will decrease. Okay. So which one of the following graphs correctly represent the mode of action of P and Q? So now we know that proto-oncogenes are normal gene. Upon viral genome integration, this proto-oncogene will become an oncogene, that means abnormal gene, an abnormal proto-oncogene, and because of that here protein X will level of protein X will increase. Abnormal production of protein X, and this protein X will increase cell proliferation. Okay, and here P, the compound P, that will increase tumor suppressor protein. If tumor suppressor protein is there means cell proliferation will decrease, and Q, that will stimulate protein Z, and Z will complex with X, so X will become inactive. If X will become inactive means cell proliferation will decrease. Okay, so we can conclude that if P and Q will decrease, P and Q will decrease cell proliferation. If P and Q both present means minimal cell proliferation, and P and Q absent means maximum cell proliferation. If only one present means 50% cell proliferation. Okay, or less cell proliferation. Let's see the graph. Here protein compound P and Q both are absent. If both P and Q absent means maximum proliferation. Okay, maximum proliferation. That is correct. Here P is present but Q is absent. But cell proliferation is maximum. So that is not possible. This is not possible. Next. Here Q is present but P is absent. Only one is present. So cell proliferation should be less, but it is maximum. So this is also not correct. Here P and Q both are present. If both are present means minimum cell proliferation, but here also maximum. That's why this is also not correct. Let's see the graph B. Here P and Q both are absent. If both are absent means maximum cell proliferation. So this is correct. Here one is present and one is absent. P is present, Q is absent. So here lesser cell proliferation. That is correct. Here 50% cell proliferation is there. And here Q is present, P is absent. So here also lesser cell proliferation. Okay, lesser means 50%. So this is also correct. And here P and Q both are present. If P and Q both are present means minimum cell proliferation. But here maximum cell proliferation. So this is not correct. Next, C. Here P is absent, Q is also absent. If both are absent means maximum proliferation. That is correct. And here one is present. P is present, Q is not present. Q is absent. That means 50%. That is correct. 50% cell proliferation. Here P is absent and Q is present. Here also 50% cell proliferation, that is correct. Here both are present. Both are present means P is present, Q is present. Both are present means minimum cell proliferation. This is also correct. Let's see this. Here P is absent, Q is absent. Both are absent. If both are absent means maximum cell proliferation. That is correct. Here P is present, Q is absent. Then 50% cell proliferation. But here maximum. So this is not correct. Here P is present, Q is absent. Here lesser cell proliferation only, but it is not 50%. This may or may not be correct. So next, P is present, Q is also present. If both are present means minimum cell proliferation, but is here maximum. So this is also not correct. Okay. So you can see that in graph C, all the conditions are correct. Okay. If P is absent and Q also absent means maximum cell proliferation. If only one present means 50%. Here also 1%. So 50% cell proliferation. Here both are present, then minimum cell proliferation. So all the conditions are correct. So the answer is option C. Okay. So this is the explanation. If you want, please refer. This is the question from CSIR NET December 2016. Question is, a protein X is kept inactive state in cytosol as complexed with protein Y. Under certain stress stimuli, Y gets phosphorylated, resulting in its proteasomal degradation. X becomes free, translocates to the nucleus and results in the transcription of a gene which causes cell death by apoptosis. Stress stimuli were given to the following four different cases. Case A, protein Y has a mutation such that phosphorylation leading to proteasomal degradation does not occur. Case B, cells are transfected with a gene which encodes for a protein L that inhibits the translocation of protein Y to the nucleus. Case C, cells are transfected only with a empty vector used to transfect the gene for protein L. Case D, cells are treated with ZVAD, FMG, a broad spectrum caspase inhibitor. Which of the following graphs best describes the apoptotic state of the cells in the above cases? Y-axis represents percentage apoptotic cells. So here this Y-axis representing percentage apoptotic cells. Here A, B, C, D representing case A, case B, case C, case D respectively. Okay. So here protein X is kept inactive state in cytosol as complex with protein Y. Under certain stress stimuli, Y gets phosphorylated, resulting in its proteasomal degradation. X becomes free, translocate to the nucleus and result in the transcription of a gene which causes cell death by apoptosis. That means this protein X, that is a transcription factor. That's why they can go inside the nucleus and that can cause transcription of some genes, and that will lead to apoptosis of the cell death by apoptosis. Okay. If protein Y is present in the cytosol means this protein Y will complex with X. That's why that X will become inactive. This protein X is not able to go inside the nucleus. Okay. So the protein Y is the inhibitor of protein X. If Y is get phosphorylated, then what will happen? That will lead to the degradation of this protein Y. Then that protein X will become free, and this X can go inside the nucleus, and that will leads to the transcription of some gene, and that will cause cell death by apoptosis. Okay. So here 4 cases are given. We have to find which graph is correct for the percentage of apoptosis cells based on these 4 cases. So here y-axis percentage of apoptosis cells are there. Okay. We know that protein X that can act as transcription factor that can go inside the nucleus, and that will lead to transcription of some genes and apoptosis of that cell. And Y is the inhibitor of protein X. If protein Y is present in the cytosol, there is no apoptosis, because this protein Y that will inhibit protein X. That's why protein X is not able to go inside the nucleus. That's why no apoptosis and less apoptotic cells. If protein Y is absent, we know that certain stress stimuli that will lead to phosphorylation of this protein Y. If protein Y is phosphorylated means that will degrade by proteasomal enzymes. That's why Y is absent. Y is absent in the cytosol means X is now free. S can go inside the nucleus, and that will lead to transcription of some genes and apoptosis. So Y is absent means apoptosis. So more apoptotic cells. So Y is present means less apoptotic cells, and Y is absent means more apoptotic cells. Stress stimuli were given to the following 4 different cases. Case A. Protein Y has a mutation such that phosphorylation leading to proteasomal degradation does not occur. Because of some mutation of protein Y, proteasomal degradation does not occur. Proteasomal degradation does not occur means Y is present in the cytosol. If Y is present inside the cytosol means no apoptosis and less apoptotic cells. So, in the case A, less apoptotic cells. We have to find the percentage of apoptotic cells. Okay. So, here less apoptotic cells. Next, case B. Cells are transfected with a gene which encodes for a protein L that inhibit the translocation of protein Y to the nucleus. So, protein L will inhibit the translocation of protein Y to the nucleus. We don't know more about the protein L, but this protein L will inhibit the translocation of protein Y. That's why this protein Y is still in the cytosol. If protein Y is present in the cytosol means no apoptosis and less apoptotic cells. So in the case of case B, less apoptotic cells. Okay. Next, case C. Cells are transfected only with a empty vector used to transfect the gene for protein L. We are not clear about this case. This empty vector that may or may not kill the cell. But we are not that much of sure about this case. So just leave that. Come to the case D. Cells are treated with ZVAD-FMG, a broad spectrum of caspase inhibitor. We know that caspase are apoptotic protein that will help in the cell apoptosis. Caspase inhibitor means that will inhibit caspase protein. If caspase protein is inhibited means there is no apoptosis or less apoptosis. Less apoptosis means less apoptotic cell. So in the case D, less apoptotic cells. Okay. So in the case of case A, case B and case D, less apoptotic cells. So let's see the graphs. Come to the graph 1. Here, in the case of case A, percentage of apoptotic cell. Y-axis represent percentage of apoptotic cells. So here in the this is case A, this is case B, this is case C, and this is case D. Okay. So in the case of case A, less apoptotic cells. It is less than 50. Here also less apoptotic cell, but in the case of case C, more apoptotic cells, but we are not sure. So just leave that. Come to the case D, here less apoptotic cells. So these three are correct. Next, come to the figure 2. Here in the case A, more apoptotic cells. So this is not correct because here case A, less apoptotic cells. So next is case B. Here less apoptotic cells, that is correct. Case C, not sure. Case D, here higher apoptotic cells. This is also not correct. Next, come to the figure 3. Here case A, less apoptotic cells. This is correct. Case B, higher apoptotic cells. This is not correct. Case C, we are not sure. Case D, less apoptotic cell, but here it is more apoptotic cells. So this is also not correct. So here case A, here less apoptotic cells. So this is correct. Case B, less apoptotic cells, that is correct. Case C, just leave that, and case D, here more apoptotic cell is present, but this is not correct. So this is also not correct. So according to case A, case B and case D, we can say that less apoptotic cells. So this figure 1 is correct. Here in case A, less apoptotic cells, case B, less apoptotic cells, case D, less apoptotic cells. So this is correct. Even though we are not sure about case C, we can conclude that figure 1 is correct because case A, B and D are correct only in this graph. So correct graph is figure 1. So the answer is figure 1. Try to practice more previous year question. If you like this video and find it helpful, please click the like button, share with your friends and subscribe this channel to get more videos. Keep learning. Thank you.